And we're back with some more Factorio. And I don't think I ever mentioned this, but I love how you can pass over these pipes. When the game first had introduced these pipes, you couldn't path over them. Just so many little quality of life improvements. This game has dramatically improved since its inception. Anyway, at the moment, we have put together the Earl Prince Gelba. I was advised, why call it the Earl King Jr.? Just call it the Earl Prince. And I had to admit that was a genius idea. So, this is now the Earl Prince Gelba. Its job, back and forth to Gelba. That's it. Collect science, drops it off. Right now, though, we have it... 1 second, we'll get rid of that. We have it carrying back some jelly nuts. Now, the reason we're getting it to carry back some jelly nuts is, and we get dropped off there, is because people said, hey, where's the stack inserters? Build those stack inserters. I mean, I know they're great. It's just I thought, like, we're going to have to build a whole load of them, and I want to set up that infrastructure later. But... keep people happy, we're going to put together a few sets of these stack inserters. They allow us to put multiple things on a belt, so instead of stacking things 1 high, we should be able to stack them 3 high. In fact, I'm pretty sure our mines will now do that automatically, will they? Oh, wow. We have eaten through a lot of our mines. Like, say here. No, there's only 8 there. Ah. I would have just assumed they'd stack up on top of each other again and again and again. Well, doesn't matter. For now, though, those jelly nuts are going to come back here. Once the jelly nuts are dropped off, they'll get sent to this machine to get turned into jelly. Now, we could have sent back just the jelly, but that would have been more effort. So, yeah, whatever. The jelly nuts get turned into jelly, and then that jelly will get fed into this machine here, which will then churn out our our bulk inserters. Or, sorry, stack inserters. It does require carbon fiber, but we brought back... oh, how much carbon fiber did we bring home with this? A lot. We brought back lots and lots of carbon fiber. Actually, now that I think about it, I should probably see what else we can build out of the carbon fiber in case you want to keep it around. Railgun turrets, rocket turrets, ooh, equipment tool belt. Yeah, might want to keep some of that for the equipment tool belt. 10 carbon nanofiber, yeah, we can keep that much. One thing I want to check here, have been advised that logistics robots can access this. So in theory, oh, 1 second, our logistics robot should come along and start stripping the jelly nuts out. Oh, that is dangerous. Like, if you can do that, it makes the international shipping so much handier. Now, my understanding is this jelly nut goes off a lot faster. That's got it's got a shelf life of about 5 minutes when fully fresh, which is why we sent over the jelly nuts. They have a shelf life of an hour. How are you looking? Excellent, lots and lots of bulk inserters. We could use these on our spaceships, but right now, Earl Prince Liba, they're just this thing. I don't want to say this thing is perfect. It's not perfect. It definitely has issues, I'm sure. It's just more a case of, it doesn't stress my brain looking at this. I know that this is going to calmly navigate these asteroid fields. Its engine moves at a reasonable pace. It gets it back and forth, and it doesn't really churn through too much ammo. Its leisurely pace, its production ability, all that stuff, it all balances out to a nice, reliable, dependable ship that just does its job. Also, we have the Earl Jr., Earl Jr. is for Volcanus. This one will be exact same ship. This one will just be doing the science run between Volcanus, where we are headed next. Though we should probably get some stack inserters ready to go before we leave planet. Also, building the tool belt, that seems to, like, you can stick one of these in here and expand the size of your inventory, which, yeah, I suppose. I just don't see a reason to do it when, well, as long as you're a little bit better at managing your inventory than I am, it shouldn't be an issue. Okay, never mind then. Well, it was good to test it. Right, how are you guys doing? I think they've actually processed pretty much all the jelly nuts. How much of the carbon fiber do they have left? Oh, we wasted all the carbon fiber. Well then, looks like that jelly nuts are all going off. That's fine. When it comes to spoilage, we have put together a little loop up here to destroy all the spoilage. Instead of burning it, which we have nuclear power, we don't care. All the spoilage ends up in this chest. Then the spoilage is dumped into this production facility, which turns it into nutrients. 10 spoilage makes 1 nutrient. Then we dump the nutrient into the spoilage chest, and then after a while, in about 10 minutes, that nutrient actually lasts about 5 minutes. The nutrient turns into 1 spoilage, and then when we have 10 more spoilage, it gets turned back into nutrient. So basically, you're able to turn 10 spoilage into 1 spoilage. Why not? It just gets rid of it and makes sure it doesn't gum up the works. Research-wise, we still are shipping in the organic research, the agricultural packs, and we're about to knock out epic quality, which, yeah, that makes things a little bit easier. We can get higher level equipment, but we're probably not going to be getting into epic quality. That is quite a little bit away. Then after that, there's nothing really much we want here. We'll grab efficiency modules, a little bit of a health bonus, but then I'm thinking asteroid productivity. A little bit more from asteroids might not be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, let's get on a rocket and start heading over to Volcanus. One last thing before we leave this planet, and it's to do with these biolabs, because I got it wrong. Turns out these things don't get a 50% productivity bonus. They just consume half as much science packs to do the same amount of work, meaning you get double science. Which sounds ridiculously broken, and it is. Let's find this lab here. Okay, this is at 100%. So by the time it comes back around, like if you watch it, the moment it goes 0, it's now just under the 5, and then by the time it hits 50%, it's back under the 5 again. So it effectively just only uses half a science pack to get 1 science. And you get the productivity bonus on top of that. So currently, 1 science pack produces 2 science, and we've got a 28%, or was it 24% productivity bonus, but that's doubled because, well, you get 2 science per pack, which means we're actually getting 248%. 248% of a bonus on all the science that goes in there. That's ludicrous. Anyway, let's go hop on a ship and get out of here. Alright, Event Horizon, here we come. I think we're mounted in the tip of the rocket. That just seems... I suppose it makes sense, but I feel like we should be down just a little bit further than the tip. Also, I do feel like those giant springs feel like a bit of excessive weight. And here is our old, the Event Horizon. Yeah, this thing could use some upgrades, but that would take time and effort. Instead, we're just gonna get moving. Alright, Volcanus, here we come. Let's see what you've got in store for us. And yes, we're running on 2 engines. And yes, we only actually max out about 170 kilometers, which is the same as the Earl Prince and the Earl Jr. The Earls basically do about the same amount of speed and have 1 engine. It's just flow controlled better. Right, arrival has been completed. God, after designing the Earls, this ship feels so wrong. We don't have any fuel control. We also haven't upgraded to the more advanced fuel and thruster per production. We don't have the ammo doing any direct insertion. It's going on a transport belt. Like, we don't have any automation on any of the collectors, so their outputs are always jammed. Yeah, this thing definitely needs an upgrade, but that can wait. I want to see what Volcanus has in store for us. I'm expecting things to be hot, hot, hot. Also, I have been advised you don't have to worry about pollution on this planet, which sounds wonderful. Lava processing. Fluid lava can be pumped by Entity Offshore Pump and processed in Entity Foundry into items stone, fluid, molten iron, and molten copper. It is impossible to remove waste items by moving them directly into a lava tile. Oh, okay, so you can dump stuff into lava, so you can remove waste product if you have no use for the stone. Got it. Got it. Okay, what do we got here? What is that? Why is there red lines? Oh. Shai Halud. Small demolisher. That's a small demolisher? Health, 30,000. Resistances, electrical, 20%. Explosion, 99%? You mean if I nuke that, it's just going to shrug off 99% of it? Fire, 100%. Impact, 100%. Laser, 100%. Physical, 50%. Poison, 50%. Okay, so electrical is where it's at. We need electrical damage to kill that. Or, like, a lot of physical. I wonder if nukes would work. Hello? 100% immune to lasers confirmed. Okay, so lasers are no use on this planet. Got it. Good to know. The hell was that noise? Does he just, like, demolish your stuff then? You know, it doesn't make a difference. We need to start building a base. So, let's not build inside this red stuff. I'm imagining the red stuff is the Shai Halud stuff, and the worm will come kill us. Hey, we got lava here we can gain access to. Actually, let me have a quick explore and see what kind of space we have to work with. Do you like sulfuric acid? I literally have geysers that shoot it out. Yeah, I hope we're wearing a gas mask. That seems like that would be very toxic. Okay, so use pump jacks on that and you can just pump sulfuric acid out of the ground? That's new. I like it. Well, so far what we have discovered is, in the center here, we have a big pool of lava. I presume this is our iron and copper pool so that we can draw resources out of it. Then at the same time, we've got this calcite. Calcite appears to be involved in the recipes of turning all of that magma into something useful. Over here we have the sulfuric acid, which is going to be used in a bunch of recipes, and possibly power. And then over here we have coal. Coal is going to be also required, but these are all of our main resources, and we can't leave this sort of red boxy area because there's a bunch of giant worms waiting outside there that will eat us or destroy us. Okay, but first things first. Research. This is the Volcanus research tech, so we need tungsten carbide. We've already got calcite processing. That gives us acid neutralization. It allows us to take the sulfuric acid that we can pump out of the ground, and we can turn it into steam, which we then should be able to use to make power or probably other stuff. This is only available, though, on this planet. Something to do with the pressure. Steam condensation. We can basically take steam and turn it into water. So this allows us to take sulfuric acid, turn it into steam, and then turn the steam into water so we can get water on this planet. And then simple coal liquefaction allows us to take coal, calcite, and sulfuric acid and make oil. That's how we get oil on this planet. But that still leaves tungsten carbide. This seems to be the unique resource here. To unlock this, we need to mine a big volcanic rock. I think of it mining the huge ones, but that's why we've got this random resources in our inventory. But this is a big volcanic rock. This should... Yep. That unlocks the tungsten carbide recipe, which now gives us access to foundries the moment we craft some tungsten carbide. Alright. How do we craft tungsten carbide? I was about to just drop down a ton of supplies from the event horizon, and then I thought, let's try and do this the grind-up way, as in figure out how to actually do it with nothing. So I did unfortunately drop down some solar panels before I decided that, so I've stuck those in the trash. No substations, no solar panels, no accumulators. Let's just see if we can get the resources and do this the normal way. Getting power is going to be tricky, I think. Yeah, I think the red line is where this guy will not pass. Let me try something here. What happens if we put down a building inside this area? Will he get annoyed? He seems strangely fine with that. Well, I've been trying to figure out how we do this, and I think the first thing we really need is power. Without power, we can't mine anything automatically, which means we need a lot of coal. And the only way to get coal, you can't find any big rocks full of coal. You have to just mine it like this, very slowly. So, power first. That allows us to automate the mining of coal. To get power, what I'm thinking is sulfuric acid. Here it is, acid neutralization. We take 1 calcite, we take 1,000 sulfuric acid, and that will give us 10,000 steam, which we can then feed into one of these steam turbines. Ones used on nuclear reactors. That consumes 60 steam a second, and it will output quite a lot of power. I don't know if it's... you know what? Doesn't matter if it's constant or not. So what we need first is... Oh, 1 second. I want to queue up more research. Okay. So for the acid neutralization, we're going to need a chemical plant. That's going to require a bunch of iron and copper plate and things like that, so that's why we've got this little setup here. So this could be trickier than I thought. I'm kind of regretting deciding to do this from scratch because things look nightmarish, just absolutely horrifying. Let me try and explain. So Foundry is how you get the molten stuff and turn it into the good stuff. And that's how we get our iron and copper on this planet. Unless you want to run around and just smash rocks all day. The problem is, to make the Foundry, you need lubricant. So you need lubricant, refined concrete, and all of these other materials. Now, the lubricant's going to be a huge problem. We've got to put together an oil refinery and then make lubricant out of that before we can build this thing at all. And that's... and we need power to run all of this stuff. And yes. So anyway, here's our attempt at starting up power. And we have no way to bootstrap it traditionally. As in, can't use a steam engine. We don't have access to any steam because there's no water on the planet. We can't use, well, anything except for a solar panel. So we are going to actually have to make 1 solar panel, which I will make manually. I'm going to leave those others in the trash. We're trying to see how hard it is to bootstrap this up. But we stick 1 solar panel down here. That should start this enough. Oh, and we should grab our hands on some calcite. I'm going to do some calcite over here. Yeah, we're going to need this stuff. There you go. Have your calcite. I think it's already nighttime, so this won't work just yet, but we'll check down the solar panel. Oh, no, it's got power. Power gives us sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid goes in here. Once we have 1,000, That should start churning out the steam. Come on. And done. What are you doing? You, So it does work. Okay, but it only kicks in once the solar panel is no longer required. Got it. Huh. Cool. Huge downside. When you come to make power poles here, you have no wood, which means the only way to make power poles is medium electric made out of steel, or big electric, or substations, all of which are criminally more expensive. So, I think medium electric poles are going to be the way to go, and we're going to need a lot of them. And there goes an enormous amount of steel. Well, it took a little bit of steel, but we got all the way over here. All we had to do was handcraft it, smelt up a bunch of steel. And then when I got here, I figured out I'm probably doing this the wrong way. But, you know, that's generally how it goes. I think the plan here should be, it's actually not going to be that hard to knock out this tech. See, this thing needs lubricant. Lubricant you just make from heavy oil anyway, and since we can get heavy oil with, where is it, calcite processing? Yep. Simple coal liquefaction. Coal, 2 calcite, and sulfuric acid. So we pump in some sulfuric acid, we've already got that running. We get 2 calcite, easy peasy, and 10 coal. And that gives us 50 heavy oil, which we can then convert into lubricant. And then we can use that to make a couple of these foundries. Once we get the foundries up and running, we're sorted. Well, that and power, I suppose, for them. So for this, all we need is we have to craft some tungsten carbide. To craft tungsten carbide, it just requires carbon, tungsten, and 10 sulfuric acid in an assembly machine. So we just need an assembly machine. Yeah, well, go with the blue one to start. Why not? Let's splurge. Okay, tungsten carbide. I will rotate you that way. Now you just need some of that and some of that. Okay, what are you missing? 10 sulfuric acid. Oh yeah, power. Power, that would be very important. Yes, there we go. And done. That actually turned out to be pretty handy. This next bit, not so much. We have to make lubricant and refined concrete. How are we going to get refined concrete here? Pretty sure that requires water? Oh, if you're wondering how I'm figuring out the recipes for all these things, just hold down Alt, click on the target. In this case, it's the Foundry. One of its ingredients is the refined concrete. Just click on it, and then boom, it tells me I need 1 steel, 8 iron stick, 20 concrete, and 100 water, and 15 seconds. And that will produce me 10 refined concrete. So we need water. Damn it! If we need water, then we're going to need to use acid neutralization, which will require another chemical plant. Damn you! You know, sometimes when you get far enough in, you forget the simple things in life. Like just using a bunch of burner mining drills on some coal. I could have saved myself so much time. Hey, I've got to give it to the devs so far, though. As far as I can tell, it is quite possible to land on this planet and not mess it up badly enough. As in, you could land on here with nothing and still construct everything you need to get off the planet again. Or at least get back to an industrial level where it's possible to launch off the planet. Well, we should be. Let's see how this plays out. And this little jerry-rig setup allows us to produce some heavy oil. And now, we're going to have to take that heavy oil and turn it into lubricant. Yeah, it should be fairly straightforward. Yeah, it's just heavy oil. That's literally it. That's all that goes into this. And just a little scooch of power. Yeah, we have plenty of power output from that. And done. We now have lubricant. Which means we need to get this onto the end of here. And we need you to produce the necessary... Yeah, you, foundries. We've also stockpiled a bunch of the silicon carbide, or the tungsten carbide that we need for this. The refined concrete is going to be a little bit more of a problem. And the green circuits. You know, green circuits we can churn out. Lubricant we can put in. It's the refined concrete. I need to work on that now. Right, this little setup here is our attempt at making refined concrete. This machine here takes the steam that we get from the sulfuric acid combined with calcite, turns that into water. That water gets fed into the regular concrete machine, which takes iron ore and brick, which we have mass-produced over in our little copper or coal patch. And then we take all of that, we turn that into concrete, which we then feed in here, which gets turned into refined concrete by combining with iron sticks, steel, and water, which still also comes in that machine. So that should be... that, right? Yeah. And seems to be working. And yes, those little inserters are doing their job. Very, very slowly. Okay, that actually seems to be working. Now, you over here. need to get you ready. The only thing you're missing is the refined concrete and, oh, electronic circuits. You're going to need a few of those. Oh, 30. You know what? I'm just going to be a filthy pocket crafter here. I don't care. We're going to need to get our hands on more iron plate, though. That we can take care of. Over here is our little, well, smelting array of stupidity. It's not great, but hey, it does the job. And we also got, like, as much coal as we could possibly want now. Should have just put in those burning mining drills, and I wouldn't have to waste all this time laying power pole. It's fine. It's fine. You live and you learn. All right, after all of that, we're just about ready. All we need is a pipe. Give us one pipe. That gives 5. All right, we're going to plug this in. That gives us lubricant. The lubricant allows us to finish this off and get one foundry. Now, to make a second foundry, we're going to need, well, steel. It takes 50 steel to make one of these. I think the first thing this foundry is going to do is make a bunch of steel. So I think we're going to need, yeah, we're probably going to need to make a storage tank first. Come on, give me that back. Hey, big mining drill. 10 advanced circuits, we're miles away. 10 electric engines, still miles away. 20 tungsten carbide, 1 electric mining drill, and 20 molten iron. Gives you the big mining drill. Ooh, this is good. Resource drain 50%. So you need to drain half the resources while mining, and it's better than the default mining drill. Default mining drill has a mining speed of 0.5. This one has a mining speed of 2.5, so it mines way faster, has a larger area, and drains less resources. Yes. But that will be a while. First thing we're going to do is take this thing over here and deploy it. Okay, give us one of these things. Can you... Yeah, you can pump that stuff from there. One of these foundries. We have no idea what way this... casting pipe? Casting recipe? No, we want... Yes. Molten iron from lava. That's what we want. So that's how it's going to rock out. Okay, we've got our molten iron in there. We need some calcite. That's okay. We have this mining drill over here, which has been putting calcite in here. We have plenty of calcite, all powered by a burner mining drill. It feels so weird. Now, I know, we could just call for supplies from the event horizon, send them back home, get even more, but I did that on Gleba, and this is what we ended up with. A tiny little base where we imported everything, and it worked great. This thing never stops. It does its job perfectly, and it was super duper easy. But, you know, a little bit of struggle now and then is not the worst thing in the world. All right, you. Now, all you need is power. And we do have those large power poles we made earlier, so let's drag them over here. There we go. We're also going to make a storage tank. Why? Because we want to store its output. Excellent. Now, start filling that if you wouldn't mind. Oh, yes, I've heard about this. This is... Oh, output stone. 1 second. We need to get ourselves a couple of inserters. All right, let's see. That should give us stone, and then the stone gets dumped into the magma. Excellent. Okay. This thing, productivity bonus of 50%, meaning as it produces stuff, it gets a 50% bonus. Meaning it produces more than it says it will, or 50% more. And it has space for 4 modules, which is crazy. We'll go through the numbers in a bit. First, we're going to let this fill up the storage tank. Okay, that's 1,800 molten metal. I think we're good. We'll, one second, we'll wait till that's finished. I'll give it 2 more rotations. Get all that extra goodness out of it. Then what we do is we stick it to the front. And gee, we want you to make steel for now. Steel would be really good. And we'll just put it all... Yoink! Excellent. Look at that. All the steel. That is exactly what we wanted. In fact, give me... Oh god, I think we need a fast inserter almost to keep up with this thing. We might want to get some more iron plate. Actually, you could do iron plate as well, can't you? Yes, you can. Give us some more iron plate there, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, look at that. So much faster. The first thing we're going to do, make another foundry. Should be fairly handy. All right, I'm loving these foundries more and more and more. All we've done here is we have hooked up these 2 foundries via a pipe. So, iron plate coming out of this one, steel coming out of this one, and at speed. Like, look at that. Right. There's multiple ways we could play this. We could just ignore that we have anything in space and try and build our way up from the ground up here. But I think yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the comments are leaning towards. But I think what we'll do anyway is basically automate the production of Foundries. As long as we can automate the production of Foundries, I'm pretty happy with that as a start. Namely because Foundries can build Foundries. They can also build basically all the transport belts. Pipes, underground pipes, and at the same time, you can cast copper cable directly from molten copper. The concrete we can also do via this as well. In fact, I think we could automate all the production steps to go into making Foundries. Because these things would be awesome back home even. Like, for example, iron ore melting. You can take 50 iron ore combined with calcite and make 500 molten iron. Then what you can do is you can turn that molten iron into iron plate. But you gotta remember, there's a 50% productivity bonus here. So you don't get 500 molten iron, you get 750 molten iron. And then, when we turn the molten iron back into iron plate, it also gets a production bonus. Yeah, so we need to get these back home as well. I'm pretty sure, though, you can't craft these back home or in Navis. You would need to craft them here. Yeah, surface crafting surface conditions need to be 40,000 HPA, or 4,000 HPA. So basically, you can only craft them on this planet. Well, let's automate the production of them, and then from there, we might just start dumping down resources from space to help us out. Let's see how we put this together. Having access to a nearly limitless supply of iron plate and steel, like the steel is just churned out at such ridiculous rates, makes this really fast. Like, and now we have copper plate in pretty much infinite amounts as well. And when I say infinite, I mean it just comes out of this pool of magma and that doesn't go down. It's just infinite supply of that forever. This is ridiculous. We're jury-rigging together just a sort of a system to produce Foundries. The thing is, we can always export those back home, and oh my god, the numbers on that must be nuts. Give me a second here. Oh, wow. Even Foundries get a smelting bonus. Okay, so if you build a Foundry in this, you get half an extra Foundry for free. Meaning, you build 2 Foundries, you get a 3rd Foundry. Okay, that's, not at all broken. These things are expensive, so this actually works out really good for us. Ooh, sweet. Yeah. I was just going through the numbers on this, and assuming we exported those back to our home planet, what we could do is we could set them up and say, hey, you, take that iron ore and some calcite, and we would like you to turn that into 500 molten metal. And it would do that. Then it would take that 500 molten metal, and we would say, it would take that 500 molten metal and actually make it 750. In this instance, we're just going to say, take 4 iron ore. It would actually turn it into 6 iron ore, well, smelted iron ore type stuff. But then what you do is you tell it, hey, make some actual iron plates out of that. And when it makes the iron plates, it would also get a 50% bonus because of the built-in stuff, meaning instead of getting 4 in and 6 out, you would put 4 in and get 9 out. That's before you even think about putting modules in this. It's ridiculous. It over doubles your productivity of anything you're bringing in. That's mad. Now, the calcite might be a little tricky, but we gained access to advanced asteroid processing. It allows you to take carbon asteroids, or what is this, carbon? Sorry, oxide asteroids, and crush them up and get calcite out. So we could just build a calcite harvesting facility in space. One thing we will need to get our hands on is asteroid reprocessing, which is only available on Volcanus. And asteroid reprocessing would allow us to take, say, a metallic asteroid, of which there's so many, and turn 20% of them into oxide asteroid chunks. We can just keep reprocessing asteroids until we get nothing but oxide, and turn those oxide ones, grind them up, throw away the ice, and just keep the calcite, which we drop down to the planet, and then use that to run our smelters. It should be capable of making, like, just an infinite amount in space if we make it big enough. In theory. In practice, we'll have to see, though I still think our best bet is to do our mega base here. We will need to, like, level everything and flatten it all out with explosives, but that's very doable. We will need some transport belt to get the coal from all the way over there to some of our production stuff. So, transport belt production. You can make them in Foundries, and it gets the productivity bonus. And you can make the gears in Foundries, and they also get the productivity bonus. And we just feed them into this, and yep, that's super fast. We can't actually keep up with it. And look at that. It's making transport belt faster than we can literally take it out. How are you guys going? 2 entities are missing repair packs? No, they're not. Everyone's fully repaired. Yeah, we might not have had enough logistics robots yet. You know what? It's fine. Not worried about Navis. We're going to worry about this place first. We have run into a little bit of a problem on our quest to automate foundry production. The biggest problem is tungsten carbide. You see, tungsten carbide requires tungsten ore. We don't have tungsten ore in our slice. And at the same time, the tungsten ore is over here. And even if we do run over to the tungsten ore, and we set up a sneaky mine on it, it won't work. This tungsten cannot be mined by anything but a big mining drill. That's the only thing that can mine it. Meaning the only way for us to get tungsten is by hand, for now. Putting together green circuits is, yeah, monstrous. Now, bear in mind, this is all just a temporary setup to get us started. I just want to see if we can put together a foundry production facility without getting off the planet. And this seems to get us as much green as we're going to need. Dear God, look at the speed of that copper cable production. That is... I would do filthy things to you with speed beacons. Just absolutely ridiculous things. We're going to need bigger stack inserters. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to hook this up right now, and then that just leaves tungsten, and I have an idea for that. So, we have a goal. We need to secure access to this. Problem. There's a giant worm around here somewhere. Wait, there he is. I can see him on the map. There you are. Now, what happens if we throw a poison capsule? I don't think it's going to do much, but I want to see what it's like when he gets angry. Your poison resist is 50%, and poison does like 8 damage, so this probably will do nothing more than mildly annoy him. Whoa! What the? Whoa, 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 whoa. Is he literally causing earthquakes? Eat poison, you, like, little annoying bug thing. Whoa. I can't tell if that's hurting him or not. Ah! What the hell? I've barely scratched him. Like, I don't think it did anything. Okay, so that was pointless, but it definitely annoyed him. Is he going to keep chasing me now forever? What if we drag him into, like... Can we make the worms fight? Here he comes. Okay, you're about to... No. Turned away. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell was that? There seems to be a cloud around him. Like, you can see that cloud. That's not great. I don't like that. Alright, so, lesson learned. You can annoy him. Walking through his trail is bad for you. And they definitely made a mess of everything in their path. Ooh, and they seem to destroy rocks as well. Huh, I wonder if they could destroy cliffs. Like, could we use him to clear out an area? Like, get rid of these cliffs here? You know what? Never mind. Right now, what we're doing is, well, when in doubt, just as much damage as you can throw at the problem is the general solution. So, in this instance, we have, like, this place is a nightmare. Like, this is what we have strung together in some weird haphazard fashion. And how is our power looking? Yeah, power demand is minuscule. So, I dropped down some speed beacons from Oregon because I just wanted to speed this along. We're going to produce a whole bunch of piercing rounds of magazines. Then we're going to combine that with a whole bunch of gun turrets. And then either place... Actually, no. We don't need to place him in front of the guy. We can poison him, and he'll chase us. How many... Oh, my God. I've only got 2 poison capsules left. I thought I made a bunch of those. Okay, we'll make some more poison capsules. We'll set up, like, 50 turrets, cram them full of bullets, and see what they do. So, yeah, this is what I'm thinking. Just, lots of turrets. Armor-piercing rounds. We only have about 12 mags in the back for all of them. Let's just throw as much damage at this thing as we can and see if we can put a scratch on it. If this fails, well, we can always ship in a nuke or a tank or other stuff. I'd prefer... Oh, there they are. We brought some poison capsules to say hello. Yeah, I think that's got their attention. Yeah, I think they like that, don't they? Good doggo. Come on, come on. That's right. Keep coming. Keep coming. Okay, that's good. Yep. Oop, 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 oop. What? I was really expecting that to be a lot more difficult, to be honest. Huh. Ow. Ow. Yeah, okay. I get it. They're all dead. Kinda happens. Yeah, whatever's in there is really eating into our shields. And yes, we can now claim this tungsten deposit. Alright, so you kill those things? I mean, all it cost us was 10 turrets and some other stuff. Not so bad, actually. I can kind of live with that. This thing's made of a lot of tungsten. No wonder it's so tough. Right. We have an area cleared where we can now mine tungsten. All we need to do is make the big mining drill that can mine the tungsten. That requires the big mining drill. Okay, 200 molten iron, easy peasy. We can get that. Electric mining drill, easy peasy. Tungsten carbide, okay, we can jury rig something like that. Electric engines, not so bad actually. The regular engines are just, well, basically iron with extra steps. The electric engine is just electronic circuits and lubricant, both of which we got lying around the place, so that's fine. The hard bit is going to be the 10 advanced circuits. 10 advanced circuits require plastic. Also copper cable electronics, they're easy peasy. So just plastic is going to be the big problem with that. So, time to get cracking. We get the heavy oil, crack it into light oil. The heavy oil is being, processed down here. It's very simplistic. And then we get the light oil and we crack that into petroleum. Then we take the petroleum and we're going to turn that into... Oh, wait, we can't do this in coal, don't we? Damn it. In that case, we'll pipe the petroleum over to the coal. Like, this is a very basic setup. We're not doing anything too crazy here, nothing long-term. We just want to get this started to prove that we've done it, and then we can get around to making a proper base, because this is a Kafka-esque nightmare that I just want to escape from at some point. All right, you. Okay, plastic. You're going to grab coal off this line, and then you're going to dump your plastic into a box. We don't even need that much to get... Just get this basically knocked out. You go there, and then... No. Let's do that super close by. I did forget to hook it up entirely, though. What? No. That's their power. You need power. And... Done. That produces the petroleum, goes down here, gets turned into plastic. Once you have about 10 pieces of plastic, we can then get around to making, advanced circuits. 12 plastic. Started. Okay, what's going on over here? Why did you stop processing? Oh, you ran out of coal, didn't you? We have not got coal automation up to you. It's so far away and on the opposite side of the base, and you know what? Let's just, I'll get around to getting you more coal your coal belted in at some point, and your calcite. It's fine. I swear. Alright. We just need a little bit more plastic and... Yeah, I think we're done. This is a horrifying setup just to produce electric motors. And then I think all we're left with... I think that's it, is it? Oh, tungsten carbide, 10 electric motors, and 200 molten iron. And we're done. Alright. To make these mining drills, we're definitely using the Foundry. That way, the third one is free. And, oh, we're out of pipes. 1 second. Yeah, we got a pipe production machine there just so that we can do, some of these underground pipes, hopefully fairly simply. Yeah, you. There to there, and then fill it. Done. This will be our first one, but I just want to get this set up. I just want this first one, so we can get in the tungsten. Tungsten plate. Excellent. So we can turn tungsten to tungsten plate. That means we've also got to metallurgical science. Okay, once we get this hooked up, I think it's time to start calling in the reinforcements from space. Ooh, actually, I would like to get the... there's research we can get here that allows us to destroy cliffs. It would make our lives a lot simpler. Look at the size of that area of effect. Oh my god. This thing can cover a massive amount of an ore patch, and then mine, you know what? It's fine. We're gonna take it back to base with yellow transport belt. Okay, extremely stupid transport belt laid. You, how you doing? 50% productivity bonus. Hells yeah, actually, let's just chuck in some speed modules. We've got them and I'm lazy. Nice. All right, with that will come over here. 1 second. All the way over here and get... Oh my god, this is so horrifying. Anyway, it will come all the way over here. Power output is very low. Our steam is high. No, it's fine. It'll come all the way over here and get fed into this machine, which will combine with carbon and sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid we're pumping out of the ground. The carbon comes from over here. Wait, no, comes from this machine. We combine the sulfuric acid we're pumping out of the ground with coal. That produces the refined carbon, or the carbon here. The carbon goes in with this, and then boom, that spits out the tungsten. Over here we're making our concrete mold. This is actually made from the waste stone. We get waste stone from smelting over here in the foundries, and we just dump that onto a transport belt, combined it with some coal over here and some steel furnaces, and boom, we've got a brick. That brick it comes bind in here with molten metal, molten iron, which we've brought from the other side, and water, which we're making with this machine over here, which is probably stressed. Actually, it's doing fine for now. Hey, where's that tungsten? Is it here yet? Oh, there we go. We can see the first piece miles away. Okay, and that solar panel can go, I think, now. So we've just got about everything set up so that it all goes in here. Oil-wise for the lubricant, that is still not being fed correctly. We should probably fix that. It's finally done. We've hooked up the coal to this. Oh my god. This is painful. Okay, so this is a spaghetti-o of a start. But it's more just a test sample to prove that we could churn out foundries as needed. Won't churn them out very well, and when this calcite runs out, there'll be problems. Barring that, actually, yeah, it'll do its job. That's all that really matters. And yeah, that's going to slowly produce some plastic we don't need. More importantly, though, ammunition production is tipping along nicely. Meaning, oh, and turret production. It means we should be able to lure in more of these surrounding worms and destroy them. There's more 22 million calcite? Ooh, we need to find a big pile of tungsten. And more coal. Actually, tungsten I think is a more pressing concern. For funsies, we chucked down a couple of these big mining drills on coal. And yes, they're a lot faster. 4.5 coal a second from each compared to 0.9 coal from these two. That's ridiculous. Look at that. Regular mining drill. Driving Miss Daisy. Good mining drill. Formula 1. Okay. And as well as that, we chucked another one down on tungsten just so we can make sure we have enough. Which, we might need more tungsten, actually. What's wrong with you? Oh, did we run out of power? Oh, yeah, we cratered our power supply. Okay, never mind. What we have to do is disconnect a bunch of... Oh, damn it. My bad. Okay. I fixed that. It was just we needed more sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is basically power and a bunch of other things. So, hooked up a couple more pump jacks and linked them all into the system. What are you? Dotted lines? Yeah, you're all connected. So, hooked them all into the system, and now... Yeah, now it's all solid. We shouldn't have any more issues with power drop-off. Yeah, perfect. Okay. This was my penance for doing Glebe just a little bit too handily. On Gleba, we just dropped in all this stuff and it was one and done in no time at all. People didn't like that, it seems. They liked more pain. So, yeah, this was far more painful. How many are you popping out? You shouldn't be popping out. Actually, 100's fine for you. Otherwise, you're going to have that start going off. We do not want waste ending up on the line. But I need to do some throughput lookups. I don't know why these things are stuttering. I don't know if it's a power requirement or if I can only chain so many of them together or what's going on there. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. Next up, we are going to gain access to cliff explosives and coal liquefaction. That would require us to export about 500 science, a little bit less. And 500 science is actually pretty easy. All we need is tungsten carbide, which we're making, and tungsten plate. Tungsten plate is made in a foundry out of 4 tungsten ore with some molten iron. Easy peasy. We can have that done in no time at all. Ooh, entities got damaged. They got it under control. 4 entities were destroyed. Wait, which entities were destroyed? Damn it, stop killing the construction bots. We still got 28 left. Never mind. So yes, we will probably put together a small science facility to export the necessary science. That can get exported back to Navis, and Navis can process that in the super labs to knock out the basic techs. Then, once we've got our access to cliff explosives and coal liquefaction, what we can basically do is just blast the bejesus out of everything around here, like flatten this entire area, and then we can start laying down a proper factory. Like, look at this area, how many cliffs there are. So blast everything down, level it out, and then use it. We'll probably expand to this area. Namely because this place is all lava and we have no way of walling that in yet. Is there landfill for lava? There's gotta be, right? Oh, never mind. If you want to fill in lava, we need foundation, and that's on another planet. One of the harder ones as well. So, you know what? We'll leave that till a little bit later. For now, anyway, I think we've suffered enough. Next up, we're going to stockpile this place with a whole bunch of stuff from space and turn it into a proper little science facility, and then mega factory the bejesus out of it. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck.